Hello everybody, and welcome back to Tutorial Tuesdays. Now, today we are going to be covering a topic that is important for everybody to know how to use. No matter what program you use for video editing, you really have to know how to use this item, and that is keyframes. They are of utmost importance to make a good, smooth-looking video. And it's amazing how often and how varied the uses can be. So, let's jump on into it and see how to use them. Okay, as I stated in the intro, we are going to be talking about keyframes today. And these are, again, things that we use a lot, particularly for geek trivia and the non-gaming stuff. So let's go ahead and come in here. Actually, we already have the projects loaded in. This is actually our Conquest geek trivia from earlier this week. So if we play it, basically, we are going to see we've already got the shadow added like we put in last week, and we've already got, you know, all the cuts and blends and edits and stuff done for that. So we're ready to add in our little tidbits, our little pictures and stuff like that. Alright, so, again, if we go ahead and play it, let me go ahead and turn the volume down for me so that it's not feeding back. As it had a different style of scoring. Okay, so we want to find... Wisdom counted when examining things. Soul was for performing good deeds to help others. Okay, so... Along in his quest and defeating enemies, such as the jousting. Okay, so here we want to put in our picture of the boar battle. So we just click this and we just drop it in. Now, as you can see, that's taken up a lot. That's a lot bigger. That's obscuring the background and everything like that. So we come in here and we come to effects. We come to size and position. We make sure that this one is set up. Now, the height for all of these, I did everything very uniform. So it's 375 is the height. The width is adjusted so that it maintains the proportion. And I think I had the top at 200, basically down 200 pixels from the top. Now this is fine. If we look at it, if we zoom into 10 seconds, we come back here a little bit. Such as the jousting scene. Now it just pops up. And we want this actually down to about where this edit comes out. We want it there. So it just kind of pops up and pops out. Which, like, again, for just basic stuff is very simple and very easy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this little button here that says set a keyframe. So we tell it, okay, well, there's a keyframe at 0. Then we're going to go in 10 seconds, or 10 frames, I'm sorry, 10 frames, and set another keyframe. Now, basically, what these keyframes are doing is saying, okay, at this second marker, at this time marker, we want all of these settings. So if we come back to our first keyframe, and we say, set everything down to 1%. So it's down, basically, it's down as small as it will get, and we say center. Now, because we already have another keyframe set up with a different one, when we come out to this one, it's already set for there. So if we come in and watch it, it starts off at 0, centered in the middle of the picture, that expands out. That is what we tend to use the most, and then we usually just do a fade out. So if we say, well, we're just going to do a fade out, we come back here, we view it, boom, and fades out. And it fades out in time with what's going on in, with the cut that I have here, with the crossfade. So it helps sell that crossfade a bit better. Now, if we want to, we can say, no. We want we want to come in here. We want to say set a keyframe here. And again, we're going to back it up 10 frames. So we could say 228 is the end. So 218, set a keyframe there. Now we go to the end keyframe and we say, we want it off the page. We want it off of the screen going in this direction. So at that end keyframe, we say left is -600. So that is just off the frame. So if we come in and we look at it a bit closer as far as frames go, we see here, and then at that first keyframe, there, it's saying, okay, here's where we start. Now we have one keyframes this position, next keyframes that position. So between the two keyframes, we need to go from here to here. And that's a very easy way of doing things. So you have it just whizzes off the screen. Now, if we want to slow that down, we can move it in so that it actually takes 28 frames to move. So when we play it again, it's a little bit slower. Now, again, keyframes can be used for so many different things. Let's say on our actor, we want to say we're going to go ahead and unlink everything so that we can pick just the main shot, and we're going to come up and we're going to say we're going to play around with the color. So we are going to play around specifically with the red. So we say keyframe here, and that should be, yeah. Okay, so you see we have red here, keyframe. Now if we come out to, let's go ahead and zoom this out a little bit, and we say to here, another keyframe. Now from here we want our red all the way up. So we have them counted when examining things slowly between the two. We have slowly between the two, we have that red saturation changes. Now again, if we want to say here, we say keep it at 50, but we want, let's say we want the background starting here. Now we are going to want saturation, so we say keyframe up the saturation. We make sure that this is ticked so that yes, it is affecting it. And say we want, out here, we want the saturation down to 0. Now, once you enter a keyframe, if you change something, another keyframe shows up. So again, between these 2 points, that background is slowly going to lose saturation. So you see how it starts slowly going to black and white. Now, this can be used as far as doing all kinds of stuff. We can do laser shots with it. We can do, really we can do just about anything. Okay, so here we have our boar picture dropped back in. Now, what we are going to want to do is we are actually going to want to say, keyframe this. Why are you not allowing me to? Okay, so there we go. All right, there's that. Okay, now we need to open up our keyframes a little bit as far as this goes. So we're going to go ahead and move this up. Now you see here where we have 3D tilt, left, right, up, down. We are going to check mark all of these so that we can affect this. So keyframe 1 here is at 0. And then if we come forward, say, between a minute or 1 second and 1 second and 30 frames, we want no change. And then in the span of 20 frames, we want this rotation to be 180 degrees. And we also want this over here. Now again, we say, yes, we want all of this affected. And then we say we're going to want it like that for up to 4 seconds. So we want it 4 seconds. Keyframe again. And again, we say 20 seconds. And our mirror rotation, we want it back down to 0. And we want it back over here. So when we play this, we say, okay.
Others, and gaining hints,
boom,
such as what the Grail looks
boom,
like.
and it's very fast, but if you look at it slowly, what it's actually doing is it's actually rotating around. As it's moving, it's also rotating that and flipping it around 180 degrees. Again, this is very useful, very easy to use. And it's also very, very powerful. You can do this with so many different things. If you want to say distort, let's say you want to distort the image. We're going to want a whirlpool effect. Starting here, we're going to go ahead and say, starting here, we want a whirlpool effect. Now, we say, again, between here and here. Now here, we want, again, nothing. But at 40, we want the whirlpool effect to go up to 100. So, as it's flipping, it's increasing the whirlwind effect, the whirlpool effect. And then it's slowly decreasing the whirlpool effect and spitting it back out. So, if again we take these and we say move them out quite a ways. Let's go ahead and grab these two and move them out this way, a ways. And again, move this one to about center. Now, if we just play it,
and gaining
whoosh, whoosh.
Such as,
see, you can layer so many different things as far as keyframes and such. And like I said, it's very powerful. It's very important for you to know how to use to add various different abilities and various different things to your end product. And like I said, you can use it with just about anything. So that is, again, it varies. This is one of those things that varies from program to program, but it is something that's important for you to know how to use. And there you have it. There is how to use keyframes, particularly with Magic's Video Pro X7. And like I said, this is something that has an immense number of uses and is really important for everybody to know how to use. If you want to do video editing of any sort, you really need to know how to use keyframes effectively. Hopefully you learned something, and this will help make your productions better off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions. Cheerio!
When the game begins, we start not with Arthur pulling Excalibur out of the stone, or even him solidifying Britain as a country, but with Camelot in decline because of the love triangle between Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. After having a vision of the Grail, Gawain